All right, so today I thought I would get on here and just have a little chat about the 7 visual elements of art. So this is kind of real fundamental lesson. If you're already in my online art membership, then you've probably been through all these, but it's always good to have a refresher. All right, so first of all, there's always a lot of misconceptions with art. You know, how everyone says, oh, you're so lucky you're born with the talent for art. You know how not everyone can draw well. I can only draw a stick figure, just all of that sort of stuff you hear all the time, especially as you start on your own drawing journey or art journey. And but the truth is anyone can learn to draw, and it doesn't require talent at all, and it's a skill just like any other. Just like if you want to learn a musical instrument, or if you want to play sport. So it is a skill you can learn, which is the best part about it. So you've just got to have the desire and the passion, I suppose. I've heard, like, they say 10,000 hours to master anything. So I've been trying. I was watching a thing the other day, forever, trying to like learn stuff all the time. And they were saying how if you really want to be serious about art as a career and being a selling artist, and it's your full-time job, I suppose, you really need to spend 20 hours a week painting or drawing, like actually creating the art. And I thought I did a lot because I am a full-time, like I teach and everything, but I don't think I do 20 hours a week. So I'm kind of going to try and make it my goal. I've been setting my alarm early at 6 in the morning. So before I go and do all the farm chores, I've been getting an hour of painting in, and it's been really good actually. So I've been consciously trying to go to bed earlier so that I'm not tired, and then getting up at 6, and 6 till 7 I just come straight in the studio and just paint. Not for a tutorial, I'm not recording it. It is just for me, just to do it. And it's a great way to start the day. I've been really, really enjoying it. So but again, that if I did that every day, that's still only 7 hours. So I have to fit more in. Yeah, but I think I can get 20 hours in. I'm just not sure how anyone with like a full-time job or anything like that. But I suppose if you have the real passion and goal that you want to eventually quit your day job and become a full-time artist, then you would make it a priority. And you again, it's a skill, just like a sports star. You know, they're not talented or gifted. They have to work really, really hard to get to where they can get. And it really discredits the training and time they've put in when people say, oh, you're talented, you're born with it. And I do feel that sometimes when people do say, you know, oh, you're so lucky, you're so talented, that you do think, well, I've put in a lot of work to do that, to get to this level, you know, and it does sort of discredit it a little bit. So yeah, so definitely have a look at your weekly schedule and see if you can fit a bit more time to just draw or paint. See, I get a lot of, because I'm video editing, you know, marketing, social media, all the rest of it. I do get a lot, like answering emails, all that. I do get pulled away from the painting quite a lot. So I do have to make a really conscious effort of fitting it in, which seems silly because I don't, this is my job, but yeah. So yeah, definitely I'll advise you to do that. I actually heard a story from Matt over at the Virtual Art Instructor, and I'll read it out because I probably will botch it up otherwise. Okay, there's 2 kids in primary school and they both love to draw and colour, like every single child you know. I don't know any kid that doesn't love colouring or drawing. And so student A is very neat and colours between the lines. and uses colours that the teacher asks him. The sky is blue, tree is green, you know, that sort of thing. Then student B, who is a bit messier and uses the colours that they absolutely love instead of what the teacher recommends. So student A is praised by the teacher, doing such a great job, while nothing is said to student B. Student A feels really great about the praise and continues to love drawing, but of course student B recognises that they didn't get any compliments, so they start to get a little bit discouraged. This goes on, and eventually with no praise at all, student B figures they just must not be very good at drawing, so they stop and start focusing on other activities. So it's like a chain reaction. Student A, who's always encouraged to keep drawing, does so throughout their life, and of course this is all practice, which in turn enables them to be very good at drawing, which also leads to people saying they are born with talent. While student B has stopped drawing through school, but realises later in life that they really loved it and want to pursue it, they now have the mindset that they don't have the talent and they're not sure if they should even bother. So I know a lot of people are in that. I hear it all the time, like people say about they can't even draw a stick figure. I had a friend in school and she reckoned she couldn't draw or anything. But yeah, I feel like I was the student A that I just loved to draw and the teachers praised you, so you kept drawing. So I kind of did art all through school. Whereas, yeah, I had friends that didn't get the praise, so they just went on and did something different. And then later, a lot of people later in life, especially when they're sort of kids have left home, think back to how much they did love it and want to start it up. And that's where that whole mindset of, oh, I don't think I'm good enough. Whereas that student A has had years and years and years of practice. So people think they're talented, but they've just been doing it a long, long time. So I just thought that was such a true and really great example. So let's move on to the 7 visual elements of art. I'll just double check questions. So essentially, to be good at drawing, you need to be good at observing. So drawing is 50% observation, okay? So really being able to sit and concentrate and focus is really important if you want to learn to draw and draw realistically. Hold on, just let me come over here. Nope, okay. All right, all good. Let me just press play over here. Okay. All right. So the 7 visual elements of art are line, shape, form, value, texture, space, and colour. Okay, so what I thought I would do would flip my phone around and just run through some of them, okay? Most of us are artists, so we're all pretty visual. So let me just spin that like that, and hopefully just let me double check where you can see to. About there, I reckon. And then if I don't go out of page there, and then maybe about there. Okay. All right. Sorry if this is flickering and it's a bit dark. I've got lights on, but anyway, hopefully you'll be able to see this all right. Okay, so line is our first visual element. And this will sort of show how they kind of all work together. So line is just, a line. A line we can do, we can get creative with our lines, bring them down. We can make them go really thick and then come thin. We can cross-hatch with lines. Okay, lines really are the main thing. We can make contours, all the rest of it with our lines. So that's why line is sort of first. on the scale or the 7. You know, like we could have a shape like this, and just by using line we can make it start to look a bit rounded. Okay, so if we had a ball, just by doing curved lines like this, we can start to make it look like a ball. Okay, so lines are really important, especially as contour lines. There's exercises you can do. A good one is a blind contour drawing, where you just get a piece of paper, screw it right up so you've got some good edges, hold it in one hand and draw on your paper, but only don't look at what you're drawing, just really focus on those lines and just keep 100% observation on your paper, and it just really helps make you concentrate. These are just exercises, okay? So then from line, so let's say line, we then have shape. And shape essentially is where we join the lines together to create a shape, okay? So, you know, we all know these sort of shapes. Then you can have a squiggly shape, and we've got a nice happy face there. Okay, so shape is essentially joining the lines together creates a shape, okay? These more, with anything sort of straight lines like this, these are sort of man-made geometric kind of shapes, whereas squiggly ones and that are more natural, more organic, which you find those shapes in nature more. So, okay, and then we move on to form. And form essentially is when we turn a shape and give it some sort of like body to turn it into an object. Okay, so again, let's do our circle. Okay, triangle, and then we can do our squiggly line. Oh, it doesn't look as happy now. Okay, we can just follow that along. Okay, and that sort of gives it that bit of that form, which, think of form as in like if you were using clay and modelling, creating a sculpture, that sort of form. Okay, and then we then move on to value, which value is when we add shading to a form to give it some depth. Okay, so say if the light was coming from this direction, this top one would be the lightest, and then this one would be a little bit darker. So we can use our, go back to line and use lines like this. And then this one over here would be in shadow. So value is really important to know where the light is coming from. Okay, so we're using our lines back here to make this one the darkest. So I'm just cross-hatching because this is the darkest side, okay? And then, of course, we would have a shadow which would come out here. And then the shadow right at that base is usually darkest, but we're not really going into how light works. We're just looking at the different elements. Okay. What else do I have for value? Value also, I suppose we could do a good old egg. Again, light's coming this way. value really helps to create that 3D look. And the next one that sort of works with value is colour, because colour has value just like your black and white. Okay, so it works exactly the same way. Okay, so that was a little egg. So just, and of course you've probably all seen a value scale, which usually it's sectioned off into about 8 or 9, but it starts with either light or dark and works your way right the way through, okay, to pretty much light. Okay, so you can see how value, when we start adding, we're building up here and it gets to value. And then, like I said, colour can work in with that as well. So it would be the same, say if we, so say I had a light blue. This isn't going to work that great on this paper. This is pastel. Okay, and then medium blue. And then a dark. Dark, going out to medium. Okay, it's pretty messy, but if you understand your darks are your 3 different, I usually work in 3 different values a lot of times with colour as well. So got your, I don't know if you can see that, light, medium and dark. So your dark, of course, is here and sort of through here. Again over here, then your mediums around this area, out here, and then your lights up there. So colour really sort of works the same, and you can also use colour. We'll get into that when we get to space, I suppose. So, all right. Next one is texture. Let's stick with the ball or the egg. Okay, and we can either make this a fairy egg. Okay, so texture works in again as we start to get further along. We want to add some interest to it or make it actually look like something we're trying to draw. So you kind of work in order, I suppose. You sort of make sure you get your contour down with your lines. Look for shapes, of course. When we're looking at anything, we try to not imagine, say if we were trying to draw a flower, we don't want to look at it as a flower. We want to look at it as the shapes of each petal or the shapes the light is making on it. Okay, you've got to really try and get out of your head what the actual object is. So again, we can have that a bit darker as it comes around here. Okay, so, and then of course our shadow would be on a flat table maybe, so the shadow would be smooth. And that's the texture of the table then. Okay, if it's smooth. Our egg's hairy. Same as shiny, like smooth, you could do it like that. You know, you could, white's not really gonna, if you had a really distinct white, I don't have any white with me, white spot up here, then that would really make it look shiny. With really, really shiny objects, they have really sharp edges on those different, on the different sort of colour changes. You know, you could have a plank of wood So you'd be working on the texture, maybe a knot in it, you know. And again, texture is really, you can really notice texture with your light and shadow. And so imagine a brick wall. If it was really sunny, there'd be a lot of shadows being thrown. Okay, and then our last one, I suppose, is space. And space refers, did I need the colour? Space refers to the area around and within the artwork. It's usually used to create a sense of depth. So if you imagine a landscape going further away, and so say even compositionally, you could have an abstract that had like a triangle there, rectangle and a circle. So that's sort of showing space, whereas it could be really crowded. Sort of, and space, I suppose, works with composition to what is pleasing. It also shows whether, so say, we can see that this ball is in front of the triangle, whereas this rectangle is behind it. Okay, so again, it's giving a sense of depth. And then colour kind of works in with it as well. We'll just play with the blues again. So say if you were doing, let's try and put it up here maybe. Say if you were doing mountains. So the further away, the lighter they get. So space and colour, a lot of these all work together. I don't know if this is really that great. I don't know, but can you sort of see that the ones in the background look like they're receding because they're lighter, and again it's giving a sense of depth. Okay, it'd also be like, let's say we've got again some mountains in the background here. Let's do them really pale. And then we could have bushes in the foreground, quite dark. And then we could have a tree, maybe. Okay, but by using the depth and the light, medium, dark, we can tell the tree is bigger than, we know trees are not bigger than a mountain, but in the drawing it is bigger, but by using the space and that use of depth by the different colours and shading, we can tell that that tree is the right size, even though it actually is bigger. Yeah, so I think that is everything. Just let me double check. One more, I think it was just the use of contrast. So again, with value, again, we could have this shape, and we could have it really dark here, coming through. Okay, coming through to pretty well white on that edge. Okay, but the minute, which looks all right, but the minute I then contrast it by doing a dark background. So it's always good, I always try and look at my reference images, especially when I'm doing a charcoal or something. And if it's, I like to have a dark background against a light edge, and the opposite on a dark edge, I like to have a light background. And again, we can have a shadow coming out there. Okay, but you see how the contrast really makes it sort of pop as well. All right, just let me check comments. It's hard working full time and having other responsibilities. I tend to just sit down for larger chunks of time when I can. Yeah, Karen, just let me spin this back around now. Okay, there we go. I'm back. Yeah, I was very much the same. I've always felt the reason I turned to pastel was because I could just let it sit and not worry about having clean up or any of that, and I could just come work on it when I felt like it. But I know I get into the habit as well that if I try and set a large block of time, and then that doesn't happen, of course, which is why I've started to think if I can just fit an hour, and if you're working pastel or charcoal or anything, you can just do half an hour or an hour because you don't have any clean up or set up. As long as you've got your own little studio space, that's so important. But I would try, because large blocks of time are really hard to fit in everyone's day. So I would, if I could fit an hour here or there, or even, like I said, half an hour, and just try and build up some time that way. That's how I think I would definitely work. Hold on. No, that's all right. It's so annoying that the comments are over on the side. Anyway, but it doesn't look like anyone's got any questions about the elements of art. I hope by running it through like that, stage to stage, you could really see how each element works with each other. So that's why there's 7 and they all work together when you end up with a full completed painting, rather than just 1 or 2. You can do 1 or 2, of course. Well, that's more for your sketching that, but they build up to end up completing a full painting. Just let me, hold on, I'm gonna try and move this without accidentally turning it off. I'll take it off of there. There we go. Okay. I want to come around to the computer just so I can read if there's any comments. Yeah, I love coming, going, leaving the work. Also gives my brain and eyes a break. Yes, definitely. Yeah, it's funny. I try and block in like 3 hours to maybe do some art, and but I find after an hour I have to get up anyway and have a little break from it. So yeah, 1 hour chunks definitely seem to be best for me. All right. Well, if no one's got any other questions, I'm just hoping that is all good. You can leave any comments in the chat anyway on the replay if you're watching the replay, and I can get back to you on that. The other thing, using shading. Yes, I did, definitely. Oh, great, Jen. I'm glad you like that. Yes, the shading really makes that pop. The other thing, for anyone watching the replay who aren't in my membership and have not heard, next week is my birthday, and so I thought I'd do a birthday bonus week where I'm going to open the Creative Barn membership doors, and I'm going to do a 7-day free trial, so you can come inside, check it out, have a look around for 7 days for free, and then up to you if you decide to stay. If not, you can cancel before that 7 days is up, and it hasn't cost a cent. And I'm going to make sure everyone knows how to cancel. It's quite easy to do. So that's going to be a lot of fun. And for all my members, you guys are getting 7 days as well. So I'll get in on the membership and talk to you about that and how that's going to work. Yeah, but that'll start Sunday. Okay, but I've just got to set it all up, and then I'll let everyone know the minute that's ready to go, and you can come and have a look inside and check out the Creative Barn and see if you love it and if it's for you. All right, so I think that is it, and thanks again for joining me. Next Tuesday, I think we might do a little eye demonstration or something, but I'll put the reference image or whatever I decide to do. We might do a little drawing demo. I'll put that inside the event for everyone. So, all right, thanks Sherry and Karen and Jennifer and Odette and Di and everyone else who's been watching. And yeah, I'll talk to you all next Tuesday. Bye.